Good morning, over here from LEGOLAND Billund, and of course our day 2 vlog. Yesterday we're back down here, my favourite theme park in Europe, of course apart from both Disneyland Park and also the Walt Disney Studios Park down in France. You know what, I'm so looking forward to getting back, of course, inside of this theme park. Yesterday we came down here and of course experienced 3 of their 4 coasters, and yeah, just really explored some of their dark rides and of course some of their flat rides as well. However, today we're really just going to have some re-rides and of course just complete some of the attractions that we didn't get to complete yesterday, of course including Flying Eagle. And yeah, we're going to head over here first because back in April, you know what, I mean, we were pretty shocked about how well themed this coaster is. Of course, it opened back in 2018 for their 50th anniversary over here of the park. And you know what, I'm so looking forward to getting back on this Sierra Tivoli coaster. Of course, it's actually one of the best ones I've experienced, and you know what, it's actually a really good ride. Yeah, without any further ado, let's go and get on to Flying Eagle. Just completed Flying Eagle, and you know what, that coaster is definitely one of the best over here at LEGOLAND Billund. Honestly, it's actually a really good roller coaster. Of course, back in April this year, yeah, we did actually get the front row. However, yeah, right now, yeah, we did actually just get a back row ride on it. And you know what, even though it wasn't much different, you did actually get a bit of drag. And of course, it doesn't have the most airtime. I don't think you really get any airtime. If you do, it's very weak anyway. But you know what, it's still a great coaster. And in my opinion, I definitely do prefer the front row to the back. And you know what, they're both great roads. And yeah, it's definitely a great ride to experience. Of course, a huge tip though is to head here first. This is due to having a very low capacity, and also its throughput being, yeah, like pretty low also. And yeah, you know what, overall it's actually a really good ride. Yeah, it's definitely something to experience over here at the park. But next up, we did actually just go to Lego Canoe, and you know what, that's of course the park's log flume, and you know, that's a fun ride. In my opinion, it's not the best log flume I've experienced, but you know what, it's still a fun ride. And yeah, I do definitely appreciate the effort, of course, with the theming. But now we're going to head around the park and reach the experience of the attractions that we of course didn't get to experience yesterday. So yeah, let's go and head around at LEGOLAND Billund. Just completed our ride over there on the lighthouse, and you know what, that was actually a classic back home, of course, in Legoland Windsor. And yeah, I actually believe that closed in 2018. Of course, it's not that exact ride, however, yeah, it is a replica. Of course, it's not sort of like your normal drop tower. You essentially sort of pull yourself up and of course just let yourself go to drop. And yeah, I actually went to Tivoli Gardens, of course, on the other side of Denmark, of course in the capital of Copenhagen, yeah, in April. And you know what, I mean, that was pretty good. Of course, got to go great views over Demon. However, over here, you know what, I'd say this is probably my favourite one I've experienced. Honestly, like, I feel like it was much easier to pull yourself up, and also as well, the drops were definitely, yeah, I mean, a little bit more forceful. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's not a forceful drop tower, but yeah, you do get a little bit of force on it as well. But as you can see over here, this is like a splash battle. I don't exactly know the name of it. Oh yeah, we are going to be heading on this next, and you know what, this is looking pretty cool because of course splash battles are all over the world right now, and yeah, I've actually only ever experienced one of them. So yeah, I mean, it's pretty crazy because I mean, I've been to quite a lot of theme parks now, and so I've only experienced one of these. Yeah, it's not, I mean, it's pretty crazy. But yeah, let's go and take a ride on this splash battle. So we've just made our way off the Pirate Splash Battle, and you know, that's definitely one of the best splash battles I've experienced. Of course, back home at Alton Towers, we do actually have battle galleons, and you know, even though that's a great ride, yeah, the theming on this was definitely a lot better. And you know what, it definitely actually made for one of my favourite rides here at the park. Of course, if you only have one day down here at the park, I personally wouldn't rush there. I mean, it's definitely something to experience. Also, something to point out was that when we actually went on it, there weren't actually many people squirting up water at us, which is quite interesting due to actually being a very hot day. And also, there were actually people on the ride. And of course, Denmark is known to be a very cold country. I mean, you know what, today it is actually pretty hot. But also as well, I mean, on that ride, like, the theming was good. And, you know, overall, it was a fun attraction. However, yeah, I probably wouldn't rush to it unless there are actually unless there's actually a queue. Because yeah, there won't be many people squirting you. But I think next up we're actually going to go on another water ride. Of course, the third one of the day here on the Viking River Splash. And yesterday I wasn't a huge fan of this ride. But you know what, I'm having a funny feeling that this is going to be a little bit better. Because of course, in my opinion, on a water ride, you have to get wet for it to be, I mean, a half decent water ride, of course. But yeah, I mean, without any further ado, let's go and take a ride on the Viking River Splash. Taking a ride over there on the Viking River Splash, and you know what, that was so great to get back on that attraction. Of course, as I just previously mentioned, yesterday's ride on there, yeah, was pretty weak. To be honest, it wasn't actually that great. Of course, I didn't actually get that well on it yesterday, so yeah, I mean, it wasn't really that much fun on the rapids, to be honest. But today was the complete opposite. Honestly, it was absolutely so good today, and yeah, it was actually a really fun ride. Of course, it's also got some really nice theming as well throughout the layout. However, the one disappointment about that ride is apart from that main drop, it is a little bit slow around the turns. However, overall, you know, it's a fun ride. Yeah, it's definitely something to experience over here at LEGOLAND Billund. However, next up, we're of course going to head on a classic over at the park. Of course, the Dragon. And yeah, even though it's quite a unique one, of course, being a map power coaster. And also as well, it actually ran in 2 trains. Yes, it is pretty unique. However, yeah, let's go and take a ride on the Dragon. Honestly, the Dragon is such a coaster over here at LEGOLAND Billund. Honestly, it's one of my favourite rides over here at the park. And honestly, the reason why I say this is it's all because of the indoor section. Honestly, the theming in there is so good. However, even though that's amazing, literally, like the outdoor section is really good as well. And yeah, even though it's only a couple of helices, you know, it's still a fun ride. It's definitely something to experience over here on your visit. However, as you can see now, we've made it over to sort of the beginning, I believe it's called, but I'm not sure if it's exactly called that. I think it is though. However, as you can see over here, you've got this awesome model, of course, of a dragon, and also as well a snake over there. And you know what? I mean, this is sort of the first thing you see when you walk into the park. Of course, the main entrance way is just down there, as you can see to the left. And of course, there's a map over there of the park. But as you can see up here now, like that is the Lego top. And yeah, right now I believe we're just going to take a look around Miniland. Of course, experience some of the attractions in that area, because I think now we've pretty much completed like most of the attractions here. Of course, over our 2 days, and honestly, it's definitely worth having 2 days over here at the park. But yeah, let's go and explore Miniland, and yeah, just see what else there really is to do over here at LEGOLAND Billund. So we've just completed our ride on the Lego top. And you know what, that's actually a really good observation tower. Of course, Denmark itself is actually a very flat country. And yeah, the exact same can be applied for Billund itself. Honestly, it's actually really flat, so like when you're up there, even though it's not too tall, of course, due to the airport being like a half-an-hour walk away from here, you do actually get some amazing views across the park, and also as well the surrounding area. And yeah, what's also pretty cool about that as well is, yeah, there is actually a little bit of aircon on there. So on these hot days over here in Denmark, yeah, I mean, there is a bit of aircon. But usually I don't believe that's on, because I don't think it was on back in April. Of course, due to being a very cold country. However, straight after, we did actually go over to Lloyd's Laser Maze. And yeah, I mean, that was a disappointment. Of course, it is only like a laser walkthrough thing. And you know what, that wasn't great. And I mean, we had a little look. So essentially, you sort of go into like 2 pathways. And yeah, there's one where sort of like the light was like much more bright and everything. And then we unfortunately did the other one. And honestly, that wasn't great, to be honest. And it hardly worked. However, right after that also as well, for our 3rd ride, we did actually just complete Lego Ninjago, the ride. And yeah, it's the exact same as the one, plenty of Legoland parks around the world. And you know, it's still great to get back on there, because in my opinion, it is one of the best attractions over here, of course, at the Legoland parks. However, I think now we're going to be heading on to a ride which is very similar to a ride that used to be at Legoland Windsor, of course our home park, and that's of course the Lego Safari. And yeah, this is such a classic, I'm still looking forward to getting there. So yeah, let's go and get on to the Lego Safari. So we've just made our way off the Lego Safari, and you know what, that was actually a really good ride. Of course, it's not a must do over here at Legoland Billund. I mean, if you do have 2 days over here, yeah, I mean, personally I'd give it a go, because you know, it's actually quite a fun ride. Of course as well, I mean, it did bring back some memories, of course, from the old Dino Safari back at Legoland Windsor. And you know, I used to love that attraction, and unfortunately it did take it away a couple of years back now, for of course the Castle Hotel. And you know what, that's a very similar design of it. Of course, not dinosaurs, instead like African animals. And you know what, overall it was a fun ride. However, now we're just going to take a look around the park and of course get some re-rides, because I believe we've pretty much done everything here now. Also as well, along with that, we did actually do the Lego train. I'm not sure what the exact name is. I mean, that was fun, it's a good ride, and also as well, you do get some great views over Miniland. However, the only negative is it is quite short. Yeah, as I just said, we're now going to take a look around the park and really just check out some re-rides. And I think first up, we're going to take a ride on Polar Explorer. So yeah, let's head over to Polar Explorer. Honestly, I can't tell you how great Polar Explorer is. Honestly, it's one of the best roller coasters, to be honest, anywhere in the world. It is pretty insane. And also as well, for it to literally be at Legoland Park, yeah, it's definitely a treat. However, you know what? I mean, that coaster is so underrated. I mean, we literally got, I think we got 2 rides on that, and I think they were both in row 4 actually. And you know what? It really doesn't matter whatever row you go on. I've now been front, back, and middle plenty of times. And you know what? It really doesn't matter whatever row you go on. It's a great coaster. And yeah, it's definitely something to experience over here at Legoland Billund. However, yeah, we've now come to the end of both our days over here at Legoland Billund. And you know what, for final thoughts, yeah, you know what, this park is incredible. In my opinion, it's the best non-Disney park, yeah, of course, over here in Europe. And you know, it's pretty insane. Of course, I'm into parks like Europa Park, Fantasyland, or anything like that there. But you know, it's definitely a great park, and yeah, it's definitely somewhere to head to. However, in terms of the attractions, of course, Polar Explorer stands out. I mean, Dragon's fun, and you know, overall, it's a great park to experience. And also as well, like some of their dark rides and flower rides are great. Of course, the Apocalypse Sky Battle, I think it's called. I mean, yeah, honestly, that's a really fun ride as well. And you know what, I mean, as well, like the landscape around it is really nice. Overall, you know, it's a great park and it's definitely something to head to. Yeah, also, the final thing to point out is it's literally a half an hour walk away from the airport. So literally, it's such an easy park to get to. So yeah, I definitely recommend coming down here to Legoland Billund. Yeah, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one.